What is one nation, one election? If our viewers are wondering, I want to explain to you what is the possibility in that. All state elections will be held simultaneously. This is going to be very crucial. Some states have already had recently elections that were held. Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan is upcoming. What happens to that? This is going to be with all the state polls together as one. State elections and general elections will be synchronized, which means upcoming general elections are of 2024 Lok Sabha polls. With that, there are also simultaneously, let's say in Bihar, there will also be the Bihar election while you also vote for 2024 Lok Sabha general elections. More governance, less disruption. Basically, you're not always as a country in an election mode as a voter or as a politician. You can focus on what to do on governance, less about elections. Massive savings for the exchequer. This is, of course, an obvious, because remember, it does not only save taxpayers' money, but the administrative process as well, where the administration is not always busy organizing election state or at general level, but also this is be one and once and for all be done. No exhausting of resources for repeated elections. So once you have the general elections, then it comes to the state elections, and there are assembly polls, then there are local elections. So clearly administration is constantly busy, and it is the taxpayers' money, let's accept it, that is being used for these polls. Better utilization of security resources in many parts of this country where the situation is sensitive, and even, remember, at usual election polls and booths, there are security setups that are done, and the movement also takes a lot of effort. Mitigating scope for dirty campaigns. This, of course, is depending on political parties, politicians and state as well, on the sort of campaigns that are pushed during a state election, which can be very specific, local, hyper-localized. One will be Lok Sabha elections, which becomes more about national security and other issues. So these are what, to help you understand, one nation, one election is. Polarization will not be a biannual affair, because remember, polarization can be while on different issues. It will be about what the netas are telling you, and whether as a voter you want to take that, accept that, or perhaps it will not be about a diversion between state and elections at the Lok Sabha level. This is what some of the point is for you to understand. What will happen if at all the government goes ahead with one nation, one election? Can India really manage it, afford it? Is it a good step at all? Let's go across to Aishwarya Paliwal, my colleague who's been closely tracking the Election Commission as well and our political parties. Aishwarya, you tell us. For many years, there has been talk about one nation, one election, but no government or no political party really pushed for it, because, of course, it's not an easy task at all. Even to do that will need a lot of resources, even if that one moment. So where does it stand right now, Aishwarya, and what is the protocol or the procedure like? If the government forms a committee, then what happens?
Well, one of the major things, Pooja, that they will have to do is that they will have to make a constitutional change. Now, that is one of the biggest things. And this is something which even the Election Commission has been speaking about. The current chief election, the CEC, Rajiv Kumar, has been time and again speaking about the fact that if there is a law, then there is a possibility that our country can have one election for one nation. One of the major reasons for this is that there is a lot of movement of election. We have seen people who are involved in elections. They keep on moving throughout the year. Almost every 3 to 4 months, there is a movement, because we have state elections in one state or the other. The second thing which this will do is save huge amounts of money. That is something that also the CEC has been speaking about for quite some time. So from the Election Commission's point of view, this is something which is doable, but yes, it will need a complete overhaul. And this, Pooja, if you remember, is also something that the Prime Minister has been speaking about, not just now, but since 2014, time and again, Prime Minister and the top leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party have been speaking about the fact that it will do the nation a lot of good if we have one election for one nation.
Aishwarya, also tell me, because my second question to that would be that there is a lot of talk this could be brought in or introduced in this special parliament session, but we are already very close to 2024 elections, and the timeline is, there isn't a lot of months also to even prepare for this. So even to prepare for one nation, one election will need a lot of discussion, deliberation and resources.
Well, obviously, one of the major things that the BJP, the central government, the Bharatiya Janata Party will have to do is to make sure that all the opposition parties are on one place. Pooja, the Karnataka elections, it was the Congress which won those, it was the Congress which has a government there. Will they now agree that, there should be elections once again? We have seen how the Aam Aadmi Party will be up in arms. So we have the TMC, which will say that we don't want it. So obviously, the one big thing that the BJP will have to do, and I'm sure that this is something which all the opposition parties now sitting in Mumbai will also now have, they will be looking at it, what next. But yes, this committee has been formed. This is what we understand from our BJP. things will now move forward from here. But yes, this is something which was going on, even in the, PM has been time and again speaking about it since 2014 to yes, this is something which has been in the works. The ECI took time and again has been saying that if this happens, then on their part, they will be ready for this. So if we see a lot, there is a possibility that this could become a reality very soon.
All right, Ishwarya Paliwal is telling us about what exactly are the plan now with regard to what can happen beyond the political rhetoric of it. Let's go across. Now joining me on the phone line is from the BRS, Ravula Sridhar Reddy. Mr. Reddy, how is the BRS going to view this? Because the first step appears to have been taken, even if it takes perhaps a longer time to be able to finalize it. Modi government clearly is testing the waters on one nation, one election.
See, we still have to see what is the agenda of them, how they are going to take it forward, and what will be the terms of reference, whom are they going to meet, whether they involve all political parties properly or not, whom are they going to discuss with and all that. But end of the day, what we feel is that whichever decision that the BJP takes, it is only for their advantage and for their only political gains. Because they have been speaking this language for the last so many years, but why only now? It is practically, what we feel, it is practically not possible in such a big country. Yes, I have heard many of their opinions that in 315 days we only conduct elections and all that. But a government which could not control the law and order properly in 3 months, 4 months time, in a small state like Manipur, talking of conducting free and fair election in such a big country. And election commission generally takes 4 5 phases of election to conduct in one big state. So how it is possible? And the reasons that they are giving doesn't have any proper premise. And we have to watch, but BRS feels that it is practically not possible, and there might be constitutional issues that is coming up.
Mr. Reddy, the
state
where your party is most active, which is Telangana, is also set for elections this year. And do you think that what if Telangana elections were to happen, for example, with the 2024 Lok Sabha elections?
No, we will strongly oppose this because, see, the term ends in the month of December, and it is the election commission is bound to conduct the elections. There is no other way for them. But if they wanted to do something on this, we will definitely, voice out our opinion. And we strongly feel that this one nation, one election, I don't think it is practically possible. Let the central government come out with full details. We'll further, deliberate on this.
All right, Mr. Sridhar Reddy, thank you so much. From the BRS, they are saying they are going to wait and see what exactly is going to be decided upon. But let's say, for example, Telangana is a state that will be facing and ready for its elections already, but will have it when the 24 Lok Sabha elections happen. They say we are going to oppose it right away. So that's the big news coming in. Modi government, just to reiterate for our viewers, have set up a committee. The notification is expected in some time, but that committee is formed under the chairpersonship of former President Ram Nath Kovind. And India Huddle, currently in Mumbai, has already started to say that this is diversion, deflection. They are scared of the opposition, which is currently united. A lot of narrative war that is presently on and clearly shows all parties are ready with the 2024 election that is on in just the next few months. Ishwarya Paliwal to help us understand what exactly are the nitty-gritties of it. Ishwarya, while of course the netas are going to bicker, the Modi government or the BJP netas will push for it, opposition will want to oppose it, but you tell us how easy or difficult is this or a decision like this really going to be, not just in terms of theory on paper, but in terms of resources, via the Election Commission also have to decide a lot on this then?
Well, one of the things that Pooja, we will have to very clearly see is how will this thing, which is at the moment is on paper, will be implemented on the ground. Because let me tell you, the workings of the Election Commission, behind what we see, behind the BLOs, behind the booths, there is a lot of that takes place. There's a lot of paperwork that takes place. So there has to be a complete overhaul in the working. That is something which the previous CECs have also been speaking about, and the current CEC, Rajiv Kumar, has also spoken about it. Though, if this does go through, then this definitely will be one of the biggest overhauls that we have seen. One of the things that the BJP now is speaking about is the fact that they don't want, others also to be spending thousands of crores of rupees, because Pooja, you and I, we have covered so many, we have been to so many places, and we do understand the kind of money which is being spent. That is something which will be saved. Even from the ECI's point of view, there will be a massive saving of money. Also, we have seen how every 3 to 4 months, somewhere or the other, there is this kind of movement that takes place. So definitely one of the things that
there's always been a lot of references, discussions, opposition to it, but first step, if taken like this, could it actually pave way for eventually having a one nation, one election? Is India ready for it? Are voters ready for it? And are the resources administration prepared as well? Thank you so much, Aishwarya Paliwal. This is our big story right now. It's a developing story. And I want to leave you with the visuals of how there is on one side, BJP and the Modi government will want to push for it. India huddle in Mumbai that is set to oppose it at 4 p.m. We could expect a press conference by the India huddle in Mumbai. What will they say will be very crucial.